So good day. Welcome back to our lecture. Last time, I have discussed to you about post-harvest losses, mainly occurring in developed and developing countries. It is understandable since sa mga developing countries, kasi nga yung mga facilities, siyempre hindi mga established yan. But as it is still mentioned here, even the developed countries nakakaranas din ng mga losses sa kanilang post-harvest, and losses are enormous. So ang Pilipinas, included sa developing countries, ay napakalaki rin ng ating mga experiences sa losses. And food losses occur naturally by the microbial attack. As you can see here sa mga pictures dito, these are citrus, oranges. There are attacks in the skin that penetrates through the flesh. So yan ay mga losses na, di mo na po pwedeng ikatasin yan kasi na yan, contaminated na. So a major portion of the food is wasted at the stage of quality standards. Meron talagang, as I told you, yung last story ko sa inyo, na maraming mga hindi makapasa sa mga standards ng mga buyers, at yun nare-reject, but other enterprising individual were able to dispose it and sell it even at a lower price. So yung mga shape, appearances and packaging, yan ang mga nakaka-apekto. But let us continue with the discussion, and let's talk about the impact na ang increase in population. The increase in population has limited the food resources, due to which the management of food loss is now of utmost concern. I just want to repeat na by year 2050, so ilang taon pa yun, 2020, less than 30 years, it is estimated that para makasapat yung food production by year 2050, kinakailangang 70% increase ang gagawin sa food production at this time. 70%, nearly double the production. And considering yung increase in production, ay meron pa rin mga food losses doon. So talagang it's a waste of time, waste of money, effort, and all the researches goes to waste dahil dyan sa mga food losses. Kaya as part of our contribution sa body of knowledge, you could be part of it by being a proactive individuals, especially in your respective location. As I see from your background, that most of you are connected at LGUs, at your particular towns. Pwedeng yan isa sa mga maging advocacy nyo to maybe educate people, or probably come up with a solution. At yan yung isa sa ating mga gagawin at sasubmit nyo, is to look for the problem existing on your localities and then come up with a viable solutions. Viable solutions could be something that is practiced in other countries, or probably in other regions dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya you need to take into considerations itong mga probably technologies. Minsan naman di kinakailangan hard technologies, kasi yung mga ganyan technologies normally cost so much, at hindi kakayanin. So mas magandang baka yung i-adjust lang natin yung solution nyo sa processes. So also, the estimated loss and the sources responsible for causing post-harvest losses are explained. And let us take a look at the definition of post-harvest. We're talking about post-harvest for a long time, ilang weeks na to. But let us try to define it. Post-harvest loss can be defined as the loss from the states of harvesting to the states of consumption, resulting from qualitative loss, quantitative loss, and food waste by the consumers altogether. At the right, at the screen, makikita nyo rito yung tatlong contributory factors sa food harvest loss. Una, yung qualitative. Example niyan, nabawasan ng timbang because of losses in water content. Tuyo na siya. Yung quality, quality means na hindi na siya fresh, no? Deteriorated. And quantitative, ito yung mga loss in, dahil quantity, loss in kilograms, and food waste. Itong food waste, ito yung luto na o kaya ready to ito nasa mga rep na, doon pa nagkakaroon ng food waste. Yung iba naman, kitang-kita yan, talagang hindi naubos ang pagkain, tinapon, no? Meron mga restaurants na ganyan. At ang ibang ginagawa foods for the dogs or the pigs, at least yun nagamit pa as animal foods or animal feeds, But enormous pa rin ang mga losses dyan. And what is food waste? Kita rito sa picture na ito, example ng food waste. Masarap pa naman itong pagkain na ito. And yet, maraming kumukuha ng pagkain sa mga handaan, di pala mauubos. Ayun, tatapon. Overripe fruits and vegetables. And sometimes, ito yung mga unsold ng perishable goods na tinatapon lang, nabubulok lang. So food waste is the subcategory included in the post-harvest losses that occur after the marketing or after marketing the food product to the consumers. Thus, it can be defined as the wastage of edible food that has been unutilized by the consumers. Food waste is strongly linked with the consumer's behavior and it occurs by several ways. Ugali ng tao. Talagang meron iba, hindi nangihinayang Kaya ng araw, yung mga bata nun, tinuturon talagang to the last kanin. Last butil ng kanin, kinakalang ubusin mo. At magagalit ang mga parents ng tatay, nanay kapag hindi mo ubusin. No? Kasi nga kulang lang ang pagkain, ang pang ubusin. Siguro sabi niya, hindi masarap ang ulam. Nevertheless, sayang pa rin yan. So consumers' refusal to the retailer in purchasing the product is another major reason. Kaya may tinatapon na lang. Discarding of leftover food. Parami nang kuha sa mga handaan. Food loss. Then is the post-harvesting chain result from the loss during the harvesting stage. O ganun din, And these are the two terminologies aside from the food waste is the quantitative food and the qualitative food loss. Yung quantitative, quantity, due to weight loss, spillage of crops, microbial attack, and pest attack. While the qualitative food loss occur as a result of nutrient loss, undesirable change in taste and texture, or presence of excreta of birds and rodents, and contamination by mycotoxin. Here is the estimate of food loss by the by FAO, UN part ng United Nations and FAO. FAO methodology being tested worldwide. Sample dito sa Kenya. Ang qualitative and quantitative loss na cause ng overripening. Kung qualitative, yung tinitingnan siya as hindi na magandang tingnan o kaya overripe na, 20%. Yung quantitative naman is 3%. And then physical damage, 70%, quantitative 8 to 10, dumaan. Crown rot, nabubulok na yung ibabaw, is more than 15%, while quantitative is 5 to 10. Ito sa banana ito, yung loose finger, hindi naman kamay ito, kundi yung bawat isang piraso ng saging is considered a finger. Trips, mga insekto to, 30%, but no evidence in quantitative. With a total of, kung pagsasama-samahin lang yan, is 70 or 9 to 70% losses. Malaki yan. 9 to 70%, while quantitative is between 10 to 12%. So data shows quality defects of bananas at wholesaler and the eventual quantitative losses later in the food chain. So ito, tingnan nyo ito. Meron tayong assignment na ibibigay sa inyo. You have to go to the marketplace and even to the farm and trace nyo. Let's say kung gusto nyo pag-aralan itong banana, where saan nyo makikita yung mga losses, you have to devise a plan where you can probably make a quantitative and qualitative assessment of food losses in those particular areas. That's why I asked some of you what are the common crops, especially the perishable crops that is present and marketed in your place. So kinakailangan kayo makagawa ng assessment. And then food losses, if we look at this diagram, ay interrelated siya. Ibig sabihin, some could be part of the qualitative or quantitative losses and even food waste. Food waste, meron pa niyang animal feed or biomass, pinapakain nilang doon sa mga hayop, yung mga food waste. So incineration or disposal, sinusunog na lang. So low quality of food loss, low quality food consumed is also a loss. Yung kumain ka ng gulay na less na ang kanyang nutrients is also food loss. So here is the post-harvest technology targets. Targets the following attributes. Ito yung mga hahabulin natin na sana ay magawa natin, mabantayan natin so that we could attribute some points sa pag-recover itong mga losses nito. Like number 1, maintenance of food quality. So the quality of food is maintained without altering the appearance, texture, weight, flavor, nutritive value, and other food properties. Also, number 2 is food safety. Post-harvest technology maintains food safety by keeping the food items at proper storage conditions to avoid contamination. Also, number 3 is reduction in food loss. The technique also targets to reduce the food loss between the period of harvesting and consumption by improving harvesting, storage, transportation facilities, and marketing policies. Ito pa. Karugtong yan, These are following attributes of post-harvest technology targets. Reduction of food waste. It also minimizes the food waste at the consumer's level by improving marketing skills and proper distribution of the product. Effective management of the post-harvest losses. Number 6 is promotion. It includes the promotion of both small and large-scale production of crops. So if we go back to these 2 slides, there are 6 targets. And I want you to take a look at these 6 items because during the time na kayo ay magkakaroon ng field study, you need to take into consideration. Ito should be part of your report. Maintenance, how is maintenance of food quality being practiced on your specific localities? How about the food safety? Tama ba yung storage? So you need to medyo mag-imbestiga kayo doon sa farm pa lang. Baka kasi yung harvest nasa lupa, wala sila noong post-harvest facility. You need to take a look to it. Pagdating ba sa palengke, sa wet market, paano ba ang pag-discarga niyan? Saan yan ilalagay? Yun, mga ganong practices. So, kailangan dyan ay marami kayong mga evidences, pictures, interviews, reduction in food loss. Dahil target natin yan. What practices can you identify na nakikita nyo na tama itong ginagawa nitong nasa value chain na ito, ng mga practitioners sa value chain? Ano yung napansin nyo na tamang ginagawa nila in order to reduce the food losses incidents? Next is yung mismong food waste. So dito, mismo sa bahay nyo, makikita nyo kung you are conscious, Kasi ugali ng pinag-uusapan dito. Yung probably pwede yung aminin sa sarili nyo mismo. Kami nga rito sa bahay, pwede nyo i-quantify ganong kalaki yung nakikita nyong food losses. Look at yung basurahan nyo, ganong karaming itinapon na pagkain. And then, what are the effective management and post-harvest losses na ginagawa at pwedeng gawin? Then promotion, ito bang pagtitipid, hindi naman pagtitipid, kundi yung practices ng preventing food losses ay na-i-echo ba talaga ito? Na nagiging aware ba ang mga tao, or do you feel na there should be constant reminder dito sa mga ganito? Baka kasi hindi nakafocus ang mga, even the Department of Agriculture, na nakakita ko sa inyo ng mga technologies sa DA, puro production lang ang natututukan and marketing, but not the proper handling and the proper storage. So it should be part of your assessment. Now, here are another categorization ng post-harvest losses. There are two factors, the primary factors and secondary factors. And what are they? Let's take a look at the primary factors first. Number one is mechanical loss. It is caused by poor handling from stage of harvesting to storage. So, kung tingnan niyo yung mga lalagyan, yung sako lang ba? Kapag ba napansin nyo, pag pinagpatong-patong ngayon sa mga sasakyan, diyan na nagkakaroon ng mechanical losses, meaning nadagana na. What about microbial action, which is caused by microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and yeast, which readily affects the principal food crops like fruits and vegetables. So medyo tingin-tingin kayo, picture, pero do it, medyo wag naman para kayong investigador. Baka kayo ay mapagkamala. Pero since yung iba sa inyo ay nasa Department of Agriculture, may probably you have the power, so the rights to look into that. Pero magpaalam din kayo at sabihin nyo na ito ay parte lang ng aming postgraduate studies. And if kinakailangan, kung humingi pa kayo ng permiso at kinakailangan nyo ang aking signature para magpaalam kayo na magpupunta kayo na study, ay send nyo lang sa akin and I'm very willing to sign it for you. What about the environmental factors like temperature and humidity? Kung pupunta kayo sa farm, tingnan yung pinaglalagyan ng kanilang unang harvest. Gano'ng kainit. Tapos, yung humidity during the transport doon sa harvest, transportation, at saka doon sa first landing niya. Tingnan din, and to the market. At pagdating sa bahay, pwede kita nyo yung kapitbahay nyo, yung kamag-anak nyo. Tingnan kung pag-aralan nyo kung paano hinahandle ang mga food. So here are the summary niya: mechanical laws, microbial action, and environmental. Yung mga hit. Sample niya, mechanical laws, look at this. O, minsan sako lang, minsan ito, ano lang, binalot lang kung ano. Look at this, sa palanggana, and these are report nyo. Sa inyong didiscover kung tama ba ito. May makikita kayo dyan. Probably because of mechanical handling. Ayan, ano na, bruised na. May tama na yung balat. Especially sa mga saging. Kita yung, although tayo, yung mga Pilipino, hindi masyadong mapili sa balat ng saging. Kasi magagaling yung mga magtitinda. Sabi niya, mas masarap po yung may mancha. Pero di makakapasa sa ano yun, sa export. No? And yan, during the transportation, look at how it is tawag yung kamada, paano yung kinakamada. Tapos sa tindahan na, minsan sa ano lang tabing kalsada. And look at what happened. Yan. Picture-picture niya yan, mga ganyan na mga nakikita nyo. So that we could actually magnify what's happening. Microbial action, kanina nabanggit ko, mga amag, yeast, etc. Look at those. So baka makikita kayo. And food deterioration, no? Anong nangyayari diyan? Ano mga contributing factor? Reaction with oxygen or light. The moment na pinitas mo na yan o hinarvest mo na, then oxygen nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na oxidation. So deterioration starts even sa sa karne. Kaya ang payo ng mga sa food technology, the moment na ang baboy ay kinatay sa mga AAA na slaughterhouses, hindi yan sumasayod sa lupa. Talagang nakabitin yan. At kinukuryente pa nga yun. Hindi nila tinatarakan sa liig. Kasi katwiran nila dyan, kapag ang animal ay stressed, yung kanyang muscle ay matitigas. Kaya kinakailangan nire-relax pa ang baboy bago patayin. Kaya meron ng tinatawag nga sa happy cow. Sabihin bago sila mamatay, hindi sila tense. Also the time, the physical stress or abuse, inappropriate temperature, infestation of insect and parasites, food enzymes and other chemical reaction within the food itself, microorganism, and all of these things could contribute to the food deterioration. And environment factors ulit, temperature. Ano ba yung temperature na sinasabi rito? Ano yung mga measurement na ito? Paano natin malalaman? Temperature is defined as a degree of hotness or coldness, init or lamig of a material. Temperature has a great influence on the shelf life of agricultural products. It was determined by FAO as early as 1998 and found that all produce are subject to damage when exposed to extreme temperatures, which will lead to increase in their level of respiration. Ano ba yung respiration? Iba yung perspiration. Perspiration, pinapawisan. Yung respiration, hinihinga rin. Sa tao, kapag nag-respire ka, lalabas mo yung carbon dioxide. Baligtad naman sa mga halaman at saka sa mga prutas, they release oxygen. Also, it was further disclosed that agricultural products vary in their temperature tolerance. So, iba-iba raw ang tolerance. Kaya merong madaling malanta, merong matagal-tagal naman malanta. And Gravani in 2008 observed that for every 18 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 7.7 degrees centigrade, the rise in temperature within the moderate temperature range between of 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, over 10 degrees centigrade to 37 degrees 0.8 centigrade, where most food is handled. No? The rate of chemical reaction is approximately doubled. Ulitin natin. Serve, because observe that for every 18 degrees rise in temperature, uminit. Okay, ano ang resulta? Chemical reaction is approximately doubled, meaning kapag ka umiinit, no, ay mabilis ang deterioration. Kaya ang unang payo rito, the moment na na-harvest mo yan, ay wag mo nga hayaang nakabilad sa init ng araw. Kung maaari nga, pagpitas na pagkapitas, meron kaagad na refrigerated van o kaya ay full place kung saan dapat ma-observe itong mga ganitong temperature para mapanatili ang ano yan, ang kanyang status na ano pa rin siya, fresh pa rin siya. So excessive temperatures will increase the rate of natural food enzymes reactions and the reactions of other food nutrients. Ano naman itong relative humidity? This one is the measurement of the amount of water vapor, yung droplets na nasa air, no? As a percentage of the minimum quantity that the air is capable of holding a specific temperature. It has a great effect on the deterioration of fruits and vegetables because it has a direct relationship with the moisture content in the atmosphere, which determines whether the shelf life will not be exceeded. O ngayon, panahon na ng painit. Mataas ang relative humidity kasi yung water vapor, umaakyat yan dahil nga sa mainit, we feel na slightly parang umiinit ang pakiramdam natin kasi nga even the water in the air turns hot. At yan, kung ang relative humidity ay mataas, mainit ang pakiramdam, nararamdaman din ng mga gulay, prutas, then di ba sabi kapag umincrease yan ay nadodoble ang kanyang deterioration rate. And here is a sample of a table where at certain storage temperature and relative humidity ay nakalagay kung gaano katagal ang shelf life ng particular na gulay. At ano ba ang mga familiar tayo rito? Start with cabbage. Cabbage yan. Cabbage, huwag yung cabbage zero. Cucumber. Cucumber, 7 to 10 degrees centigrade. Dapat sa storage. Lamig yan, no? And then, the relative humidity should be 90 to 95% at tatagal ng 10 to 14 days. Kung ano bang matagal? Apple. So, kaya pala yung kinukwento ko sa inyo, matagal ang buhay ng apple sa aming table. Look at the apple, ano? Temperature is 1 to 4.4 degrees centigrade. Tapos, ang kanyang relative humidity is 85 to 90 and it could last from 3 to 8 months. O, yun. Kala ko kasi may pinahid na kung ano ron eh. Yun pala, talagang matagal ang buhay ng apple. What else? Ang tomato, 1 to 3 weeks lang. Na green. Pag ripe, 4 to 7 days. Eggplant, 1 week lang. What else? Cabbage, ayan. Tatagal nga. Obserbahan nyo sa rep nyo, matagal-tagal eh. 3 to 6 weeks. Ang cabbage, carrot. Carrot could last up to 2 to 5 months. Aba, kaya pala kayang-kayang i-export ng China yan. At yung iba na-i-stock pa sa mga warehouses because matagal pala ang buhay ng carrots. No? Onion, ganun din. Depende siguro, 1 to 8 months. Kaya pwedeng itabi. Now, Let's take a look at the secondary factors affecting post-harvest losses. And this includes inadequate harvesting methods, incomplete drying before threshing, kung yan ay mga grains, inadequate storage facilities, longer shipment, sinakay sa barko, tagal bago makarating, longer distribution period, yung i-distribute mo na sa mga retailer, yun pa, lack of market access and policies. Kung by farm ka tapos hindi mo agad mabenta, hindi mo sigurado kung sinong bibili, yan ang mga process niyan nakaka-apekto. So what are the type of post-harvest losses? Based on the different stages of post-harvest loss is categorized into the following types: direct and indirect loss, weight loss, food loss, seed viability loss, commercial loss, and irreducible loss. Ano ba itong direct and indirect loss? Direct loss is a food loss which occur by spillage of crops, attacks of microbes, etc., pests. And indirect loss is a type of food waste that occurs at the consumer level, like consumers' refusal to purchase and infrequent visits to the market. Weight loss naman, ayan, gumaan ang timbang. Example is prolonged storage, shrinkage, consumption by insects, poor packaging are the reasons which can lead to weight loss. Sample ng mga losses, the fruit losses during handling, sa harvesting pa lang ay 40 to 67%, transportation 8 to 13%, and marketing is 12 to 20%. Kanina na-discuss na natin yan, qualitative and quantitative. At different stages, you can, ito tingnan nyo, it should be part of your report. During harvesting and handling at harvesting, edible crops left in the field. Di na inani, o kaya naiwanan na, nalaglag na sa lupa. Plowed into the soil, eaten by pests, timing of harvest not optimal. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Hindi pa magulang na harvest na. Crop damage during harvesting, threshing. Kaya lang, we're talking about fruits and vegetables. Kaya wala ang threshing kasi sa mga grains to. Drying, transport and distribution, storage. Yan. Ito, magiging guide nyo ito during your observation when you go out in the market. What else? Packaging, inappropriate packaging damages, produces grain spillage from sacks attacked by pests. Ano naman itong post-consumer, poor storage, stock management, discarded before serving, poor food preparation, expiration. Yun, may expiration pa nga pala. And end of the life, disposal of food waste or loss at different stages in the supply chain. Food waste discarded may be separately treated, fed to animals, mixed with other waste, landfill. Tinapon lang, pamparami sa lupa, pantambak. I also mentioned seed viability. Kaka-epekto rin yan kasi kung earlier ang harvest mo, hindi pa mature, of course, ang seed mo ay immature pa rin. So kung itatanim mo siya, hindi na siya sisibol. Commercial loss, ito nabanggit na natin, hindi binili, binabenta, rejection ng quality, ng mga sizes, etc. So lugi ang mga dyan. Yan ang mga ibig sabihin ng commercial loss. What is irreducible loss? Ito caused by the excessive respiration of the product, mechanical rubbing of the grains, shrinkage in the food product, mechanical injury, etc. The extra production may compensate for this loss. In simple words, we can say that the production rate must be higher than that of losses. Example, for the loss of 20% in food, the production rate must be increased to the rate of 25% para may natira pa at least na 5%. Kasi nga naman, nag-increase ka ng iyong production ng 20%, ang losses mo ay 20% din. Eh di parang baliwala yung iyong increase in production kasi it is estimated it eventually ended up as waste. Likewise, for the loss of 40%, the production rate must be increased by 66%. Estimated costs and losses: harvesting 1 to 5%, dressing with manual is 1 to 5%, sun drying, open storage, village milling. Ito naman sa mga grains ito. Ito yung mga small scale. Pagka large scale na, medyo pantay pa rin, pero yun, commercial milling, medyo mababa ang losses pagdating sa commercial milling. Kasi mas efficient na ang production activities. Process of losses at different stages. Ayan. We also mentioned this before. And this is the diagram. If you want to look at it a different way. In the Philippines, here is the story of post-harvest losses. Significant loss of 10 to 50% of the production output in the developing countries. Wow, 10 to 50%. So, can you imagine yung 50% kung hindi nawala yan, may kinita mo na sana yun. Laki. So, it's like you're burning your money. And another statistics, in 2005, Philippine fruits and vegetables were worth 101.5 billion. Worth yan yung harvest. An average of 35%. Thus amounts to 35.2 billion annually. Ibig sabihin kung itong na-harvest mo na amount na ito ng fruits and vegetable, yung worth na yan, at nagkaroon ng losses due to post-harvest losses na 35%, then nawala, natapon na rin yung 35.52 billion pesos annually ang nawawala. Napakalaki, no? A loss reduction of 1% is equivalent to 355.2 million gain in productivity. Kung mapababa man lang, down ng 1%, naging 34%, ay yun ang value. So, malaki, 355 million in 1 year. Mapababa mo lang itong losses na percentage of losses. So, how much food we waste? This is the world count. Buong mundo na ito. 33% ang food waste losses. So, paano gagawin natin yan? You must harvest crops at correct maturity state. For fruits and vegetable, water should be sanitized with sodium hypochlorite, bleach, etc. before dunking into the tank. Ayan, tinatanggal doon ng mga bacteria. Water used for the irrigation purpose must not be too cold, as the seed germination requires a mild temperature. High temperature may result in soft rot and other crop diseases. So, pag extreme na ang temperature ng water is also bad for the seeds. Discard the mechanically injured food products as it can favor the entry of pathogenic microorganism. Yung pag may nakita ng may sugat na yung mga harvest nyo, lalo na kung prutas, ay alisin mo na yan kasi papasok doon ng microorganism, mahahawa pa yung iba. Harvesting should be done in cooler temperature for the perishable products, and the products should be directly transferred to the storage areas after the harvesting. This time, the stressing of grain should be handled properly. Kung grains, although tayo ay fruits and vegetable, it would be best if you dry the grains completely before transportation to the storage areas. Storage areas should be highly sanitized and there should be proper ventilation and cleaning. Ito, natutunan ko ito sa mga mga architect, yung kapapatayo ng bahay. Sabi niya, ito ang technique kung paano ma-minimize ang heat doon sa loob ng bahay. It is through a window or any opening na papasok yung hangin sa loob ng bahay mo. Pero kinakailangan yung hangin na yun mag-i-exit, meron siyang lalabasan. At here is the explanation kung paano mo minimize ang heat sa loob ng bahay. Yung pasokan ng hangin should be nasa lower portion ng bahay o ng bintana o ng dingding, mababa. Pero dapat meron ka pang exit na mas mataas, almost parang malapit na sa ceiling because ito ang sinasabi doon, cold air goes down and hot air goes up. So itutulak ng cold air, yung hangin mainit pataas. So dapat pala yung exit or exhaust ng hangin ay nasa taas. Kaya pala yung mga exhaust fan yung iniikot ay nasa taas dahil yung ang itatapon niya ay hot air na nandoon sa kisame. Yun. Okay, maglagay pala ng exhaust fan sa baba kasi maitatapon niya yung malamig. Ayan, alam na. So, post-harvest harvesting chain for grains. Since grains naman ito, skip na natin to. But yan, harvesting, drying, etc. Cleaning, processing, and marketing. For ito naman, perishable goods naman. Harvesting, pre-cooling. Palaging after harvest, palalamigin. No? Hindi naman necessarily nga sa rep agad, kundi doon sa lugar na lower in temperature kumpara doon sa field. Deliping, pwedeng kung aring tanggalan ng dahon na yung mga petsay, yung mga cabbages, naalisan na ng dahon kasi nakakaano pa yun, sa respiration, nakakadagdag pa yun. Bunching, grading, sorting, bunching, pagsasama-samahin na, then packaging, cold storage dispatch, and then marketing. Okay? Ititira ko na itong food statistics na 48 ito nakita ko na ito eh. Sample niyan, around 1/3 of the world's food is lost to waste or 1.3 billion tons per year. Ito, nagandahan ko itong statistics na ito and I will share this to you next time. Dami kasi 48. Binasa ko lang. Ito, basahin ko lang yung second. In micro terms, roughly 1,000 tons. Ang isang ton is 1,000 kilos and 1,000 tons of food is wasted every minute. Every minute. 60 minutes in 1 hour. 60 tons in 1 hour times 24. Wow. Ganun karami. Walang pagkain. So, let me cut short my lecture today. This is pre-recorded for you. And hope you learn something. And ngayon, pag aralan nyo na what are the things that you are gonna look when you get out and go to the field in the production area, in the marketplace, in the consumption place, even sa supermarkets, obserbahan nyo kung anong nangyayari, and that will be part of your report. So thank you very much for listening and hope to see you again. Thank you.